Welcome back. Today topic is Google Firebase Cloud PubSub, and today we are going to discuss about how to publish a topic message and how to send it to subscribers of that topic. So our app is Book Movie Ticket app, and then I'm taking film news as a topic. So when latest news is published, that message will be sent to the all subscribers of the topic. So this is the screen to publish a message, that is here in this film news. So the news, it will have two edit text. First is to header, second for the text of that news, and third is the image for that news. So this screen, I have already pasted the message and selected the message, so for save time. So when I click on this floating button, it writes this data. This image will be uploaded to the cloud storage and writes this data, and then the path of this image in cloud storage will writes on to the Firebase database. So here I've already added two news. Then this will have a message ID, and then under that we have a news text, news header, and image. On this write event, I write a cloud function. So that cloud function will be triggered. That cloud function will send this message notification to all subscribers of the topic. So we'll see that how to write the cloud function for this. This is the database trigger. So this is the function name, this is the path, topics, film news, and then will code given it as a message ID. So on this event, on the write event so when I publish the news by pressing the floating point button on the Android screen, it writes onto the database on the write event. So it calls this function, this trigger function will be triggered. So when it is triggered, so we get the data, that what is that data is added, that is news header and news text, and then news text, and then image. So this we call it as a delta snapshot. So we read this delta snapshot will have three childs, that is news header, this will have three childs, this is news header, news text, and image path. So for each child, I call this on the event delta snapshot, for each child delta snapshot. So I'll get the key and then value. Key is here, delta snapshot dot key. It is giving message ID plus the key, so I replacing the message ID with the spaces. So I store this in JSON data as a key value pairs. So I need to send this message to all subscribers of this topic. So for generating the JSON data, so I store these values as a JSON data array. So that array will have the key and value, and next child news text, key, and then value is that news text, and that is image path is the key, and then the value is the path of this image in the cloud storage. So this JSON data will have all three elements, key value pairs, and this data I want to send it to this data to be sent it to the all subscribers of this message. So I'm building this message, creating the message, and we can send message as a notification or as a message. So when you give as a notification, and I give as a notification, want to send as a notification, this will have the title and body, and the body will have the all this key value pairs, that is JSON string 5. Then we need to pass this JSON data. Now I have a message. This message to be sent to the all subscribers of this topic film news. So that is messaging and send topic, and this I need to give what is the topic, and topic is film news, and then message what to be sent. So this message, all these key value pairs I want to send it, so I kept it here as a message and notification. So this message will be sent. So these all users will be identified by this topic name, and this topic name has attached all the users with the token IDs of that user. So thus this will send this message to and subscribers of this topic film news. So once this send it, this is it sent to the devices, and then on the device it calls this messaging service, and it calls the con callback method on message received. So on message received we get the notification here. We get as a remote message, and then we call get notification and body. The body is passed in the cloud function. We have coded that message will have a title and body, so I am getting the body data. So this I need to notify it. We need to build the notification and notify it so that it appears on the notification area of the device. So this is to build and this is to notify. So when user clicks on that notification, this message has to be displayed. So this is to notify, and then when user clicks on that notification, it has to launch the activity to display all this news header, text and image. So that is pending intent, we code for it. So this where to be launched this activity, so that is to build a task builder to create a new task and then to navigate to the other activities in the parent activity of this activity. And to receive this message, so let's see now. Okay, I will explain it later. Let's see now. I will press this. I will press on this floating button, and I am pressing on it. I pressed it. So I got it. There, see here, we got the third message. And we got the message also. See here, we got the message, Rajinikanth as a President of India, and then this one, and the image of that. So I go to this here. Look at this. After pressing on that button, it sent it, and then we got this screen. Here the list of news, it has got added. When I click on this news, it has to display that. So it has displayed. That's it. And then when I click back, so I have got the message, and then that message So I'll click on this. So I got that. So this is the way it works. So next is, let's explain how to code for this. So to receive the message, we need to integrate this cloud Firebase messaging in Android app. So how to integrate it? Let's go through this. Type in YouTube Unisys and then Google Firebase Cloud Messaging Initial Setup. Part 1 and Part 2. It's better go through all the Part 3 and Part 4 also, but it explained about the web server, so that don't ignore that in web server part. So remaining related to the Firebase cloud messaging goes to the, mostly it is explained in Part 1 and Part 2. So once you gone through the videos and do the setup, this build Gradle file, this build Gradle file, we need to give all that. For authentication, we need to give the Firebase authentication. This version will be depends on the version of the Android Studio. And for the messaging, we need to give Firebase messaging, this one. And for database, we need to give Firebase database. And for storage, I'm storing this image on the cloud storage, so for that we need to give this Firebase storage. And then Firebase UI, I'm using here Firebase list adapter, so that is for UI. And then I'm using this UI directly gets the image and set it on the screen. So for that, Firebase UI storage. So all this has to be given here. So after initial setup, and we need to give all these libraries. So once that libraries is given, so this setup is done. Then let's discuss one by one how to code for this. Let's okay, this. Add news event. This will have the layout, edit text for news header, and then edit text for the news text, and then image text view to display the path of that image on the mobile device, and button is to select the image. Once it is selected, the path will be displayed on the text view. And add news activity, get the reference all of that edit text and text view and image path. So when select image, we need to select the image here, that is calling implicit intent action pick, and then that content type set type is image/star. So it gives only app it's have the implicit intent action pick, and type is image. And then when selected, it calls the on activity results. So when it is okay, I'm getting the path of that image on the mobile device, and that path I am setting on the text view. So it displays the path of that image on the mobile device. Once pressed on that floating point button, it has to upload that image to Firebase cloud storage. So that is this one. You get the reference. That reference is cloud storage default bucket, and then in film news I am going to store it as image name. So image name will be the news plus current timestamp. And then so image path in cloud storage is file film news and then image name. So this I am going to write it on the Firebase database. So for that, this is for foot file. So this foot file will upload this image to on reference we call foot file. So that foot file uploads this image to cloud storage. On success listener, on success of this upload task is success, then I am write onto the Firebase database. That is here. This statement will write it on the database reference push and set value. What is the value here? Film news object. This object will have a 3 parameters. Three variables here, the news header and then news text and image path. So news header, the variable name has a key and value is value in it. So these are all key values. So that is news header, news text and image path. The values in that, it will be the value of that key. So that is what I am creating object for this film news. I am passing this first is news header. That is what is there in the edit text. Get text and then news text, that is details of the news. So that is second edit text, and then I am giving the path of that image in the cloud storage, that is image path. So that object is created, that object is passed here in set value. So this reference, database reference, is topic. So that reference I coded here. That reference is path to topics and film news. Under the film news, add this message push. It will have the message ID, this news ID, and then under the message ID, these three key value pairs will be right onto the Firebase database. And that is for add news activity. Then once it has added, I am calling this add view activity. So that intent I am launching this activity. This activity shows the list of news headers. So that is add view news activity. So that view news activity will have the Firebase list adapter. This is Firebase list adapter. The first parameter is context of this activity, and then the data it carries through this film news.class. Just now we have seen that film news, and then that layout, new list row layout. So each news will have the layout. So each news, that this list view will display the list of news, that each news item have the layout. So each row layout is here. So each row it will have the header, first one, and second one will have the news text of that news, and then third one will have the image path. So here I given as a gone. So I don't want to displace the news text and then image path on the list view. I want to display only headers. When user clicks on the header, it displays the details on the next screen. So that is view news activity, that is the row, and then I am giving the database reference, that is topics and film news, and list the last 10 news, and if you don't give, it will list all the news headers on that parent film news. So on populate view, we get this message through this object, film news object. The film news object will have the three variables, that is news text, news header, and image path. I am getting that and I am setting it on this row layout. So this is the list adapter. We need to pass these parameters, each row layout and that data layout, that is film news object, and then through that film news object we get this data from the database. So from that film news object we test it on the row. So then next set it on the adapter, Firebase list adapter. So it list view, set it on the list view, this is news list. This layout will have the only list view. View news is only list view, it will have the only list view. So I am setting on that this adapter on the list view. So news list. So when user clicks on any item on the list view, so that has to be launched, that will be displayed, and it launch another activity and displays the header, text and image. So I am passing this from this, that row it is user clicked, and I am taking this header, text and image path, then I am passing it as a through intent put extra, then that event is to news display activity. So news display activities will have this all text views, 3 text views, that is for header 1, text 1, and then 2 text views and 1 for image. So here I am getting this header, text and image path. So I am header I set it, texter I set it, and then it is directly from the cloud storage. We need to give glide, we need to cloud glide with this context of this activity using Firebase image loader, and then image reference on the cloud storage, that is child of image path. That image path we stored in the Firebase database, that we got it here, image path, and then where to set on this screen. So that is news display. So that's it. So when I go back, I'll show it here. So now we coded all these activities: news display activity, add news activity, and list view, list film news activity. So these 3 activities, where to call, and we have a 3 toolbar, and the toolbar will have this menu, that is publish news and film news. Publish news will call this add news activity. Film news to view the news, that is view news activity. So that is, so when I call this publish news, it will come. So when I press this film news, I got that. Publish news, we have seen it already. When you click on that any row, so that will display that in news activity, news display activity. That's it. So that is, I clicked on the another row, so that is, it is displayed. Let's go to the main activity. There I have given as in activity.main.xml, activity main.xml, I had toolbar. I added a toolbar here. So that toolbar reference I get in this main activity. That is toolbar. On the toolbar instance, we need to inflate the menu. That is given in the menu. This menu will have these two items, publish news and sign in, and then film news. Film news, sign in and publish news. That film news is displayed on the screen and then as a on toolbar, so because I have given as a always, and other two, publish news and film news as a appeared as a menu. So that menu, when I click on that set on item click listener, when I click on that, if it is film news, I launch the activity, views news activity. If it is publish news, launch activity, add news activity. When it is sign in, calls the sign in. When I press on again, it's signed out. So that's it. And news display activity, when I click on that any item. So in messaging service, we call this news as a news display activity as a pending intent. So when it is clicked on that notification, and this will be that news activity, display activity will be launched. So this is all about to publish the news. We have a book movie ticket app, and then customer care can log in this app and we can view the news and we can publish the news. When it is published, it writes to the Firebase database. On that write event, it calls the cloud function, it triggers the cloud function. So that cloud function will send message to all subscribers of that topic. That message we receive notification. So this topic is to send, the main objective is to send a notification when news is published. So that is the cloud function does, and that when it is sent, it comes through on message received, and that notification will be notified. Build a notification and notify, so that it notifies to the user. So this is the end of the session. This is cloud publish, on publish, it sends to message notification to all subscribers of that topic. So that is the end of the session.